It is 2 o'clock Central Time, and again, welcome to this call. I'm gonna kick this off so you can see the slides full blown as opposed to seeing my funny looking face on there. But okay, so what's up? Again, thank you so much for jumping on this web class. My name is Chris Cunningham, and I'm pumped to be on here today because I'm going to show you literally how you can create video content that resonates with your audience, which is so important. It builds that trust and authority, and it makes way more impact and way more sales. And the best part is you don't have to have any experience at all with what I'm going to share with you. You don't have to know where to start. You don't have to know what to say. You don't have to have technical skills. You don't even have to be comfortable on camera, because I'm going to even talk a little bit about that, about not even being on camera with some of your videos. I like to launch this presentation by asking you two questions. The first one is, first of all, I like to make sure that it's sort of a dialogue and exchange. So I want your responses in this. I know it's limited because we're on this webinar thing, but in the chat, let me know, have you seen a marketing video in the past 7 days? I just like to see, in your chat box, so we can make this that two-way conversation. But most of you are going to say, yeah, I see. Let's see. Sean says, yeah, forgive me, Dyrene. I'm guessing at your name. Says, yes. Amanda, yes. In the past 7 minutes, Al has. Al, you've probably made one in the past 7 minutes. I know Al, by the way. But that leads to my second question, which is, how many of you actually uploaded well, first of all, I missed this little statistic. I already know the answer to it. 98, it's like 92.8% of you have seen a marketing video in the last 7 days. And that leads to the second question, which is, how many of you actually uploaded a marketing video in the same amount of time in the past 7 days? I know, Al, again, I saw a video you uploaded today, so I know that your answer is going to be yes. But how many of you have actually uploaded that one? Oh, thanks. I hope I can remember Dyron. And then I got a no from you. We do Facebook Live weekly. So Sean does Facebook Lives weekly. A live video is a video. And part of what I'm asking as well, along with this, is, have you done non-live videos? Al says yes, of course. So here's the funny thing. This group is an enigma, just those of you who are responding right now, in that the response is actually 12% of you will normally say yes, right? So the problem with that is you're staring at the numbers, right? Statistically, I know that 70% of businesses, only 70% will create a video this year, which is only 30%, 70% will not. Mixing my numbers there. So you're staring at some interesting numbers here. The first one, if you haven't made videos, it's probably, it could feel a little bit like a glaring gap. But in the other sense of the game here, in terms of marketing, it's a giant opportunity. You're staring at a giant opportunity right in front of you. So we're all watching videos, in other words, but many people are so willing to put themselves out there and create their own content. Sean, I like what you said. You do that, the Facebook Lives weekly, because my focus is going to be a little bit different in that we're going to talk very much about the cloning effect that video can be for you beyond live videos. And so I think this would be some interesting content for you as well. The game plan that I'm going to present to you as well, Sean, is that this will work also in a live setting. You can even take the structure of what I'm going to share and do a presentation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or even eliminate the Saturday and just have a 5-day plan that leads to an offer that's very dynamic and awesome. Okay, so that's what you're here for. Awesome. So here we go. At the end of the day, with all of these stats, and we're talking about 90% haven't made one, and 10% blah blah. These numbers actually represent, like I said, that massive opportunity. I just still have to ask, so what? Why does any of this even matter? Who cares, right? And here's the reason: it's traffic and it's conversions, and nothing does it better than video. I want you to just hear what we're talking about and why this stinking matters. Traffic and conversions. According to a recent study that's conducted by Cisco, video is expected to make up 82 stinking percent. I mean, listen to that number: 82% of all consumer internet traffic this year. That's 15 times higher than what it was in 2017. On top of that, social video gets shared 1,200% more than text and images combined. Outrageous number right there. And then video increases purchase intent by 97% and conversion rates by 80%. But also this one's a kicker right here. Forbes says that businesses that use video, they grow 50% faster than non-video users. So the magical thing here is that when you start putting yourself out there, yes, you can get more traffic. Yes, you can get more shares and likes. Yes, you can grow your business faster. But there's another layer that perks my interest and gets me more excited than all of this stuff combined. And it's this: when someone watches your video, there's this kinesthetic stuff that's going on. And, you know, we won't dive into all that, all these stats about kinesthetics and all this, but I like to call it the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect. That some people call it the celebrity effect. You may have heard this, but when someone who puts all of their attention on you and, you know, they're engaged in your video, and even if it's only 2 or 3 minutes, there's this effect that you become the authority and they start to look up to you. It's just a very natural thing. I have the gurus in my life that I love, like James Wedmore. I love Dan Henry. I love Russell Brunson, and I love Brooke Castile. Like, there are all these people that I look up to and I really love them. And it's because of that, this thing that we're calling the celebrity effect, or the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect, and that rapport and that relationship that's forged. You cannot put a price tag on that, because the amount of trust that they put in you, so that when you just make an offer to that audience, you don't even have to be a good salesperson. You just have to be your authentic self, because they buy based on the relationship that they have with you. It's that basic principle, right? That people only buy from you if they know, like, and trust you. And nothing does it better than video. Nothing comes close, because of all that kinesthetic stuff that we won't get into. But your video begins to do all that work for you on your behalf, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on automation, when you do a video right. And building that rapport for you on automation is what we're talking about today. And so it's very exciting. It's one of the most important things that I like to share and bring up right at the get-go. And we'll continue this dialogue about that very thing. And here's a great example. Last year, we launched an online course. It's called Video Creation Academy. It basically just distills and it boils down all this video marketing stuff into a step-by-step roadmap, very clean, clear, concise, really easy. So much so that the idea was, when we launched it, was that we could take a student, no matter what their experience, and teach them to create their first high converting video from script to screen, to build that celebrity effect, that know, like, and trust factor within 2 days. That was the kicker. I wanted to do this in 48 hours or less. First student who entered the course was a complete newbie. He steered clear of it. In fact, he said he was the fear of others is why he wouldn't go on video. And yet he comes in the course, completes it by the end of the day, the next day on entering. And it's not just that he made a video. Who cares? Again, we go back to that. Who cares? I really don't care. Here's why I care. He wound up booking, he converted traffic from that video super fast. And here's what he shared about it. I'll just let him say it. I created my first ever video. When I shared it, I closed a client within 4 hours. Within several days, I had 5 qualified leads at zero cost. This is all organic. There was no money put against it, like a Facebook ad or something. In just under a week, he says, I went from complete novice to somebody with authority in the marketplace, with my service in high demand. This course has been a game changer. But another recent example that I like to share, Chad is a property manager, a recent student of the academy. And when he joined, his business was floundering to get qualified leads. It was absorbing his every waking moment, his business was. But check out how video marketing affected him. Here's what he said. I implemented Chris's video strategy right away. And within a matter of a week, I was booked out with nearly 5 months worth of full work. On top of that, I've landed a 2-year contract on retainer that enabled me to hire 2 employees, which has given me time back to spend with my family and on the things that I love. And I will say this, and Chad's given me permission to say this, he was broke when he entered the Video Creation Academy. He just bought a house. So we're talking about that kind of drastic change that video can bring to somebody. It's all pretty exciting. His video is just catapulting to date. And now he's even got a secondary business he launched, because the other one's on autopilot, even because he's hired people to do the work for him. And now he's launching a coaching program, which is awesome. More relevant to you, because this is what this is about. It's not about Chad. It's not about Chris. It's not about me. It's about you. In this masterclass, I am going to lay out that exact video strategy that Chad mentions here and what Chris has went through. I call it the perfect video strategy. I put that in quotes so that you can leave here with massive action steps toward getting started. I don't want you leaving here without awesome steps that you can take. And I'm here to tell you, I just want you to know if you're in the right place, right? What types of business does this video thing work for? If you're an e-commerce store and you're selling physical products, you just want more sales. It's totally for you, 100%. Or maybe you're an author or a coach, maybe you're a consultant and you want to just sell more of your services, or perhaps you just want to transition into an educational program, kind of like I did with the Video Creation Academy, kind of like Chad's doing with his coaching programs. And you want to scale that thing, and you're just trying to figure out a way to scale yourself. Video is totally for you. You simply might want to just drive traffic as a network or affiliate marketer. That's what Chris, the complete newbie, was and is, although he's transitioning too right now into new, bigger, better things. Or perhaps you're an ad agency of some type and you haven't done the video thing yet, and you want to start applying that in your client base. Maybe you're a freelancer, or perhaps you even own a brick and mortar store and you're looking for a video strategy to gain visibility and just have that impact that you're wanting and you're looking for. Then this is completely for you, because video is not biased. It does not look at your age. It does not look at your industry. All it looks at is, can you showcase your product, brand, or story on camera. That's it. There is no bias here. I've personally produced marketing videos for every single one of these industries that we're talking about, both for-profit and non-for-profit. So that leads to my goal for today. I want you to walk away from this web class today, right now, understanding, not just understanding, but also believing as strongly and confidently as I do. And as Cisco and Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine, all these people raving about video, that there's not a company represented right here and right now on this web class that we can't 5X with the right video marketing blueprint. And that's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you the right video marketing blueprint. So my goal today, I just want to show you strategically how to apply video into your business. This is the simple bare bones version of it, so that you get visibility that you need and want using the best tool on the planet. It is the most dominant, influential, communicative force ever known to mankind. That's what video is. And we're here to do that. I'm going to show you that. So today, how we're going to do that, we're going to cover 3 insider secrets of video marketing. The first secret, I say it like this: how to get all your marketing videos done insanely fast, because it's got to be timely, and 100% strategical, because it better be a proven system or you're wasting your time, even if you're on a startup budget. So it's got to be budget friendly to you. The second secret is how you can easily create stunning story-centric, story-selling videos from your living room or anywhere using only your smartphone and a laptop, even if you have the tech ability of a Cricut. And I'm not talking about crappy videos that are going to harm your brand. I'm talking about stunning, cinematic, beautiful videos that you can make with your smartphone. And because it's a powerful tool, more powerful than most people know, and you just have to have a few simple understandings of how to unleash and unlock that gear. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to smash the fear in front of getting in front of the camera, so that you can position yourself as an expert without looking like a total amateur or sounding salesy and inauthentic. And I'll tell you now, the bulk of this will address that in a very unique way. You won't even know what's happening, but I like to point to it because it's so critical that we understand how to be that authority on camera and how to be positioning ourselves as an expert. And for those of you who don't know me, or you're wondering, who the heck are you to be talking to me about this video stuff, I just humbly submit to you that you're absolutely in good hands. My name is Chris Cunningham. I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur I just love helping other entrepreneurs tell the story of what it is that they do. Nothing I dream of more than that. And I am an award-winning filmmaker. My work's been featured on a host of different television networks. I made a movie last year called Squat. It's a sci-fi comedy. I currently own a thriving video production and a marketing company. I'm also the founder of Video Marketing Unleashed. But my world literally has revolved around video since 2002. I've produced over 45 nationally televised documentaries. I'm in the middle of a development of a documentary on homelessness, something I'm most proud of. I've raised enormous amounts of money for humanitarian efforts. We're closing in on $100 million this year. And we've done so as recently as last year for both human trafficking and for homelessness. And, these are topics I love to engage, and I feel a deep sense of responsibility because I know how to use this video thing to help raise money. I'm gonna grab a drink here real quick. I love doing it. It's my heart. It's my dream come true to be able to do these things. So at this point, I want you to buckle up for the ride. I'm going to go really fast. I have so much content I want to cover, so take notes the best you can. But I want you to think of a video like this. When you produce it and you publish it correctly, it's kind of like taking your very best salesperson that you have. You clone that person. This is the cloning effect. And you make it so that they guide viewers through the actual buying process. Again, this is on automation. You set the cloned version of your best salesperson on autopilot. In most cases, who is your best salesperson? You. Right? So as an example, I just want to share this video. I released a video online December, get this date, December of 2012. I don't know how many years that is. That 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, this December will be 8 years, 9 years. I don't know how to count, guys. I'm sorry. Regardless, let's say it's 7 years. It brings in several qualified leads every month to this day. I got a call this morning and has generated better than 6 figures for me on autopilot. One single video. That is powerful, right? That's what a video does when it's done right. It automates the process. If I were to hire somebody at $10 an hour to do the work of my video, this would be tens of thousands of hours. We're talking, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for an employee to do the same amount of work that video has done for me for 7+ years. And I want to share a real quick story at this point of the strategy that I developed, this thing that we're going to dig into. And I want to give you context because this is the most important marketing lesson that I ever learned. And it happened right when I was a beginner. It's all about how a newbie marketer with zero experience created an 8-figure video marketing strategy and helped save the lives of thousands of children in less than 2 years. I will say this, it's kind of an emotional story. It's sad, but true. But it is what life gave me. Firstly, I was an actor. And that's me serving jail time in a movie, right? And I wound up hating this program that I went to grad school for. So I swapped majors, went down the film directing path, where I just lost my crap over a story structure, just lost my cool over it, loved it, geeked out over it so much. It's important to note I didn't touch a camera in film school. I'm in film school and I won't touch a camera because I'm just focused on the screenwriting aspect of becoming this guy who would sit at my computer, watching movies with a spreadsheet open. I'd chart out and graph out the character journeys and plot points. I did this with hundreds of movies, and mostly I did this with the top grossing films of all time, because those are what resonated with culture, and that was important to me for whatever reason. But when I graduated, those spreadsheets, they were not valuable to me at all. They were worthless. I wound up jobless for about 6 months. We had 2 kids at the time. It was scary, demoralizing. It was so bad that we wound up living in a government assisted housing apartment complex, and we were on food stamps. So I'm glad that was there for me. And it was a really rough time, but 6 months really hurt internally, right? The pride and everything, and the fear that was overwhelming. But finally, this weird job opportunity came up, and it was this producer slash cinematographer slash marketing type job, just a hodgepodge of things that would fundraise for building orphanages and feeding malnourished children. But the fact of the matter, I was not any of those things. I wasn't a television producer. I was not a cinematographer. I wasn't a marketer. I had zero experience on all fronts. I was a jobless actor who loved story. I had some spreadsheets. Right. Nonetheless, I sold the crap out of myself. They were desperate. I was desperate. It was a match made in heaven. I landed the gig I was totally not qualified for. So I thought there's a lot of, and so they thought, but they had to do something, and I had to do something. There's a lot of travel. My first day on the job, I was transported. They flew me to Haiti, transported on the back of this beat to crap dump truck, way off into the far mountainous regions of Haiti. And they were taking me to this makeshift medical clinic. They were providing some medical care to the far off, off in the beaten paths. These are literally photos I took with disposable cameras back then. These aren't, something I pulled off the internet. I took these. We weren't there long until this little boy was brought to us, and he was maybe 4 or 5 years old. This kid, it's frightening. This is so frightening. Just even reimagine this, but he was so malnourished that his head was way too big for his little body. You've seen this before on TV, I'm sure. But there I was live, looking squarely in the eyes of death. He looked like an alive baby skeleton. That's the best way I can possibly describe it. Just so skinny. My mind was just on meltdown mode. I couldn't fathom what I was seeing. Never seen anything like that in my life at that point. But again, I was staring death into the eyes, and there I am with this big old honking camera. The cameras back then were massive. It was on my shoulder. I barely know how to use it. It has all these buttons, and I'm on that dump truck. That's when I was learning how to use the camera, and I start questioning everything. like I'm having this internal meltdown of like, what am I doing here? I don't know. Who am I to be, what have I done? You know, all these questions. I'm responsible literally to produce these television programs that fundraise for all of this. I was an actor, not some marketing guru. You talk about baptism by fire into the world of marketing. That's the best way I can put that. But when I saw what I saw, I just chose to believe I had to reckon with it, suck it up. Here I am. This is what I'm doing. I chose to believe that this was my lot in life. And I decided there wasn't a chance on this earth I was going to fail. I was going to save babies' lives, period. But I had no clue how, literally didn't know. But all I knew was what I had. Remember, I had studied story structure on Hollywood films that have made billions and billions of dollars telling stories. So, this is all that I had to go off. So I started thinking, can I convert this thing like into helping here? And so I started asking weird stuff like, who's the Darth Vader in this story? Who's the Obi-Wan Kenobi? But the most important question for me was in all of this was who was the hero of these marketing documentaries? That might seem like a silly question for most people, but I'm sure, I'm sure it might feel weird, but for me, I knew if I could somehow crack that code, that I could take this incredibly powerful, this ancient story structure technique. It's been around since before biblical times. Homer's Odyssey used it. And they weren't, I don't want to chase that rabbit, but know this, it's an ancient, powerful story structure technique that Hollywood uses. And I could use it to perhaps help save babies' lives in a big way. And for several weeks, that question frustrated me. I was there for a couple of weeks. Was I the hero? Was the organization? Were the people we were helping? But I remember I was flying home from Haiti at the end of that first trip. I was journaling all about it. And then, boom, this light bulb kicked on. I had been missing a key person of who the hero could actually be. The hero, I decided, was in fact not me. And it wasn't the organization I was working for. And this may surprise you too. If you have this in your mind, maybe it was those people in the third world country. No, not them either. The hero I determined was who? The character I was missing was the viewer. It was actually the viewer. And suddenly when I reckoned with this new thought, it literally just fell into place. It made so much sense. I suddenly knew who Darth Vader was, or the villain, or the problem, right? I knew what that was. I knew the plot points and how to graft this into my spreadsheets, how to bring a different level of emotion to the program, because that's what a good movie does. It brings emotion. Not only that, the structure enabled me to uniquely position the organization as the mentor and as an authority like they had never done before. They had never viewed themselves in that light. And on top of that, had a different understanding of when and how to showcase the organization's solution in such a way that compelled the hero to take action. So important. And you got to do that in a non-salesy way in this nonprofit situation, let alone in our businesses, right? And I knew what the climax or showdown of every single episode had to be. And I knew how each episode would need to end, because if you don't close things out right, you lose a lot of flair and a lot of favor with your audience. But I suddenly had this blueprint of how to apply what I knew about story into this new strange little world of producing the cinematography marketing, which I'd never been a part of. In fact, I was able to simplify and adapt that Hollywood structure into 6 distinct blocks or segments. It was a 30-minute episode. So each block represented, let's say, 5 minutes or less. It was actually a 28-minute episode. When we applied this new framework, what happened was magic. And I say that because it worked. Strangely, those spreadsheets that couldn't find me a job, they became a magical solution for our cause. And the first episode that we created using this formula was record breaking for the organization. I thought it was a fluke initially, but fortunately that wasn't the case. They had plateaued in their fundraising efforts over the past 5 years, only to double year over year in the next 2 years by simply applying the framework of this program. And we continued to create. The better I got at this, the better the programming funding became. And we broke record after record. We kept breaking the new record over and over. And the truth is, get this, the visual quality of the program from the previous producer, who was great at creating fancy looking videos, this was a major downgrade. I stunk at cinematography. You should see some of the footage. It's trash. But regardless of that fact, we still 5x their revenue, so that they went from generating $2 million per year to $2 million every 10 weeks. 5xing their revenue. I just kind of get a kick out of this still because I'm just this podunk kid from Indiana learning all this stuff, right? Now, we're going to come back to this slide in a few minutes. These 6 segments will inform those 3 insider secrets we're going to hit upon that we're about to dive into. But before we dive into that, I just want you to indulge me. Hear me out on something. Geek out with me on cinematic story structure for a second, because this is the most important marketing lesson I've ever learned. The magical thing that I had uncovered was this: by positioning the viewer as the hero in our new framework, I was forced to do something else for the organization. I was forced to position them into another role, right? And I've mentioned this word. You guys can guess it by now, I'm sure. This was not happening before I arrived. And I want to give you a visual of that because I want you to understand this is who you are in the whole story as well. You're the listener's Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're their Morpheus, their Gandalf, if you will. Story structure gurus, in motion pictures, they call this character the mentor or the guide. And ultimately, you and your business, you're the one that provides a magical plan or magical solution to the hero. And that emotion that the hero has to solve that problem, you as the mentor get to address that. It's not just the external problem, it's the internal one. I mentioned this earlier, but we call this the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect or the celebrity effect. Remember, your consumers, they're the person who has a pain point. They're going through life in the types of, they need the type of help that your service or mine can provide. And when we approach things as a mentor or a guide with a magical solution, we're actually approaching it from a very, very unique place. And that is a place of a deeper why. Like why we do what we do is so critical. It's so important. And because of this, your message as the bearer of the, of the magical sword or the magical solution, giving it off to the Luke or the, or the, the Frodo, right? Then your message starts to build trust. And when we approach it this way, instead of being in sales, you get to be in service of people's problems and challenges. And when we're in service, what comes alive? Passion. And that causes everything to shift from your vantage point and the viewer, how they perceive you. And people can feel that energy in a very, very unique and a very, very different way. It's very, very powerful. Now, make no mistake, I know what you might be thinking. Like, I really understand this, but you might be saying, Chris, come on, you're saving babies' lives. It was a nonprofit already generating $2 million per year. Plus, these were televised documentaries. I got none of that. And no, you probably don't. You could if you strive to get it, but that may be not what you want to do. But how does all this work? How does all this work for me is a fair question that you might be asking. Remember, this was just the origin of where this whole video marketing framework began. So I want you to literally take out your pen and paper if you got it. And if you have time and, if it's in proximity and you have the, the bandwidth to go take some notes. So I'm going to walk you through that entire framework that I call the perfect video strategy, which is precisely what that first secret's about. It's how to get all your marketing videos done insanely fast. And even more important, 100% strategical. And I'm going to give you 3 steps, including that full-blown strategy. We're going to dive right into that to make that happen, even if you're on a startup budget and you have no idea where to begin. So, grab a quick drink here. After having worked for that organization for 2 years, I started to get courted by other companies. And one such company, my wife and I decided, wow, this is a great opportunity. So we took it. The pay was great. I never made that much money at that point in my life. Moved my family across the country. Make a long story short, I had no idea, but this company was actually in financial despair. They were unstable. And the work environment for that reason was very volatile. And to be blunt, just bad. It was just a bad place to work. I despised it. So my wife and I, we decided to start walking this idea of going down the entrepreneurial path as a means to get out of that situation. It sounded terrifying. Neither of us had ever launched a business, done anything like that, but I had this weird concept to begin providing pre-made graphics for small churches and, things like church bulletins and various media they could download and print, graphics they could use in their PowerPoint, things like that. The idea was that there would be no tangible products for us to ship. We could just provide digital assets because the internet was starting to thrive and grow at that point. Just digital assets for download, info products, if you will. So we were pretty excited about figuring out how to leverage all that I had learned with that humanitarian organization and apply it here to go all in on using video and using that story framework strategy. But remember, that was long form. That was 28 minutes. So I didn't have that. The big problem was that everything that I'd learned was with that humanitarian organization. They were nonprofit. They had $2 million in annual revenue. They had a TV network. They gave us 30 minutes in time slots, 28 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact. Plus it had national distribution. I had none of that. My potential company was going to be for-profit startup, no revenue, no cash flow, no real strategy other than what I had in my brain, and only the internet as our distribution route. So that leads to the first step that I took. I call this hack the proven process. I had already hacked that once, that Hollywood story structure for the organization. Now I remember thinking, don't reinvent the wheel, just hack that proven process. And I really had to only do some really simple thing to hack it. And I'm going to show that to you. To do that, though, I need to block this out for you. I need to show you how I will block out each episode of television program. And there were 6 essential segments, and this will all make sense to you really fast. Watch how this unpacks. The first segment I'd call Launch with the Villain. So never heard this before. You may never hear this again, but when I was geeking out over story structure in film school, I realized a really weird pattern. On these spreadsheets, I noticed that a high percentage of the top grossing films would launch with the villain. So great example, Star Wars launches with Leia having been kidnapped by who? The villain, right? That it starts the very first in the series, although organizationally it's not the first one, but nonetheless, it launches with the villain, right? In the movie Lion King, Scar is the first character to speak. If you know that, you know that's the bad guy in the film. So what that meant in the third world country. So how did I apply it? We would share educational stories that inform the viewer of the villain or of the problems, right? It might be the story of an orphan child, might be the story of a malnourished family who desperately needed our help. But educating about the villain or the problem, that was the first segment. The second segment, in motion pictures, I love this portion right here. The hero always meets a mentor, a wise mentor who understands their pain and fear. So important. I put pain and fear in red because our external problems lead to internal pain, right? So Luke meets Yoda or Frodo meets Gandalf, and Luke will have some external problem. There's something sinister going on. They murdered his aunt and uncle, and that leads to an internal pain that Obi-Wan Kenobi understood. Now, I want to mention that most business owners don't actually understand this critical side of marketing, and it is a powerful game changer when you do this. Being a vulnerable mentor who realizes a customer's external challenge causes that internal struggle. It provides you an opportunity to allow the customers to get to know, like, and trust you because you understand not just their external problem, but you understand also their pain and fear. So important. For the television program, what that would mean, I would always showcase our passion of why we were doing what we would do. Especially our desire to halt the pain that's caused by the challenging situation that we were addressing. This would build immediate rapport, would build that trust with the viewers. They understood that we understood them. I'll say that again. They understood because we showcased our passion of why we're doing what we're doing, that we understood them. Very, very important in our marketing. So that's step number 2, to showcase our passion of why we do what we do and to halt the pain that others are experiencing. So the third step, we would own our role as that mentor and that guide, and we would showcase our magical solution to conquer the problem. We call this a demonstration. That's a really simple way. If you think of cinematic mentors like Gandalf or Obi-Wan Kenobi, what did they do? They would demonstrate some sort of magical solution to the hero. Obi-Wan Kenobi teaches Luke how to use the lightsaber, demonstrates it to him, teaches him and this is all heading towards solving the big problem. For us, what that meant was, example, the medical clinic, how that helps the sick, or the orphanage, how that provides a home. Really simple stuff. We would demonstrate our magical solution that was going to solve the problem. So that leads us to step number 4. The mentor would compel the hero to take action to conquer the problems. That's always something that happens inside of a movie. Gandalf sends Frodo out of the Shire, for example. He calls him to take action, to go solve the problem. Call to action is so important. In this segment, what we would do, we just make a strong offer to the viewer to take action to deal with the pain and suffering. Very, very simple stuff we're talking about. What's cool about this step, because we're doing all the other steps, it just becomes this really logical and organic thing, right? It strips out the feeling of being schmarmy or salesy, because we're coming at things as a problem solver with a magical solution. We're educating them. We're showcasing our passion. We're demonstrating a magical solution, and then we're asking them to take the next step, right? And that leads us to the fifth step, and this might be my favorite discovery. In motion pictures, the call to action always leads to the hero into a showdown. Think of like an old Western. This town ain't big enough for the both of us, right? And that showdown will always end in either victory and reward, or it's going to end in tragic failure. Right? One of those two things. I started introducing testimonials, and this was my way of highlighting victory through transformative experience. Or I would showcase the testimonial of the opposite side, of family in need. And we would then do the call to action a second time in the program, right? So that was that's segment number 5. And then in the last, I will say this though, I learned really fast that testimonials, they were a game changer. That was just outrageous. We began to, that's where things really started to accelerate too financially for the organization. But lastly, in motion pictures, when the hero returns home, many times they're going to be rewarded for their brave action. If you think of a film like Narnia, if you remember, when they come back to the castle, they're crowned. That's why they did a little stick figures with the crown on their head. So it's a free gift of some kind, a free reward. What we would do, how I interpreted this, we started to offer, we would mail the viewer a free gift, something with an emotional story tied to it, like a coin from a village, from Haiti, or a rock from the village. But also, as things began to go more and more digital, that was right on the cusp of things like email lists, and people were talking about that. Suddenly, we started offering a digital newsletter in exchange for their email address, so they could get updates on things like the stories they just heard. And this, what you're looking at, is literally the exact 6-segment structure that I began to use right on that first episode. It changed a little bit, morphed a little bit. It began to get proven. Things became more solidified, and this is what we ended with by the time I had left there. And we 5x their revenue, right? Not only that, what you see before your very eyes, this became my game plan to get out of my job. And for my first startup business, to hack this structure, what I told you I did one simple thing. What was it? Here it is. I decided each segment from that TV show, I was going to, kind of engraft it into my marketing efforts. It would become its own online video. What this means, we would only need to create 6 short videos in all. That was the theory behind it. In practice, I didn't know if it was going to work, but I just want you to remember our concept was to provide creative digital assets for small churches to download. So I'm going to show you how it applies to my business. My first business, rather, which we've sold this business since then. But what that would mean is the first video is going to need to be an educational video about the villain. What was that? Well, small churches commonly don't have a budget for a creative team. And my premise was that there could be a significant problem to get affordable graphics that were aesthetically pleasing, that looked nice. For a small church that wants to be relevant in a tech-savvy world, this could be a substantial problem for them, was my theory. The second video we would need then would be an About Us video that showcased our passion to solve that problem and gain that understanding. We understand that it's a tech savvy world, and we understand you want to be relevant in culture and things like that. So we would talk about that and that. And then the third video would be simply really, really simple. It was to demonstrate how to download our creative elements for their church. Also, we did a demonstration video on how to use video in PowerPoint. So we had these little countdowns, pre-service countdowns, really simple stuff. We'd show them how to apply that into their PowerPoint presentation. And then the fourth video was a sales video that made literally just an action-oriented offer. Here's what we're offering, and take us up on it or don't. It was like we were leading them down this path. The fifth video meant that we would need to create testimonial videos of someone who purchased or loved our products, right? Finally, the sixth video we're going to need to create was that free irresistible offer that could be downloaded. And we would use this to grow our email list, similar to what we did in Haiti. I always forget to tell this story whenever I do this presentation, but long story short, we wound up growing our email list to 4,500 really fast. I don't want to forget to tell you that number. I always forget that. So I'm going to just share that up front right here before I forget. And I'll try to remember it in a minute to make that more relevant. I just want to say that. But that's the first step, though, to hack the proven process. That's what we did. I tore it all apart. And instead of a half-hour program, I created a framework that, so all we needed to do was create 6 videos and connect them together with calls to action. So I didn't know it, but we call this today a sales funnel. I made a sales funnel out of videos that one call to action leads to the next. Worked very, very powerfully. That's how I came up with what we now call the perfect video strategy. And the real question is, did it work? Again, who cares? We could throw back to that slide I introduced early on. Who cares? If it's not about traffic and conversions, who cares? Here's how it went down. Created all the products that we needed, the digital products, as fast as I could. It wasn't all of them, but it was enough to get started. Then we created 5 videos, and it took us about 7 days to make them. We couldn't create a testimonial video because it was brand new. We didn't have it, and I wasn't going to interview like my mom to give me a testimonial. But at that point, I still can't believe that we did this. We chose a new city to live in because we weren't having fun there. I gave a 4-week notice to that job I wasn't enjoying, and we bought these plane tickets and launched our business onto the internet using a home video camera and this strategy that you're staring at right here as our marketing plan. We set everything in motion to launch about the same day. It was just coincidental. Had 4 weeks to get everything done, got it done. And we moved back to the East Coast so that when we got on the plane, we had never made a sale yet in this business because we just launched it that day. And when we got off the plane, I remember showing my wife the sales and saying, "You got to be kidding me." We had made our first $1,000. And by the end of the first week in business, with this blueprint that you're looking at, this perfect video strategy, we had profited nearly $10,000, and we continued to grow that business. I sold it 7 years later. It was in 2014, sold it for a song. And I don't know if that's the right way to say it. We sold it for good money. Is song the wrong way? Does that mean you didn't sell it for much? I don't know. We sold it for really good money. So the question is, did this strategy work? The answer is yes. Of course it did, based on what I just shared with you. And I want to pause before we go on. If you remember, we started this journey on government assistance. I was just some actor with some spreadsheets. But this thing called video is the thing that transformed our lives. It transformed our businesses and gave us a presence and put us on the map. So video mixed with a perfect video strategy is outrageous. The coolest thing about this entire thing, our investment to launch that business was $0 because we did it with a home video camera. And since then, this strategy has become refined and vetted. It's been responsible for generating tens of millions of dollars for my own clients and students. In the nonprofit realm, it's responsible for about $100 million. This is insane. Like, I'm really deeply humbled by this because I am some kid from Indiana. That's all I was. And somehow this weird thing, this piece of coal got squished and became a diamond for me and my family. So the second step, let's move to the second step in this process for you. The first step, I just want you to hack what we did. Just hack it. You should have, hopefully you're taking notes. If not, you can come back and you can ask me for these slides or something, and maybe I'll give them, I'll fire them over to you. But I want you to have them either way. If you want them and you're not able to take notes because you're driving or something, please just email me, send me those slides. I'd like to see them. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I'll send them to you tonight. But sketch out the second thing I want you to do is sketch out your own blueprint, literally draw it on paper or a whiteboard or a spreadsheet, wherever you want to put them, screen grab it, whatever you got to do. And once you sketched it out, you say, these are the assets I need to make, period. I just need to make these things, put them in order with calls to action. And then that leads to step number 3, which is to create them faster and easier within the Video Creation Academy. For us, we didn't have something like this. We had no help. I was inventing this stuff on the fly when video was just becoming a thing on the internet. But for you, you can easily go inside the members area where I teach you everything you need. You can grab the plug and play script templates for each of the videos. I take you step by step through the technical side of things with hands-on practices. So you get your videos done insanely fast, and they're not going to look stupid. They're going to look amazing. They're going to look great. And the process is created so that you get them done super fast. And, just moving on at this point, I want to anticipate what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, okay, the strategy is great to make Hollywood profitable Hollywood movies. It worked for the nonprofit. It worked to sell your digital products, Chris, but will this strategy work for me? The short answer is this. It's if you have a product or a brand or a service that literally helps people with their struggles, and you can mentor them through those problems on video in 3-minute segments, right? Then this strategy is for you. In other words, this is a no-brainer, and this is simple. This is not hard. So we'll talk more about that in a few minutes, because I know some people feel overwhelmed by some of the aspects of video. But I want to share something with you, a little bit of this in action for Derek. Derek's an iron welder, and he really wanted to use his creative flair to build unique tables and bars and fire pits. You're seeing one of them, insane. It's all metal, what you're looking at on the screen. But because staircases and handrails, these were one of his primary products, he realized that folks, they were plugging his contact information in their phone as the handrail guy. Now, he didn't want to stop doing those things, and he wasn't offended by somebody writing down the handrail guy. He just wanted to simply shift the perception and expand his client base to include more of this artistic stuff, because here this beautiful stuff is that he's making, but nobody knows about it. And he wants to expand that client. He loved doing that more than he did the handrails. That said, the first video that we created for him was an About Us video. And this is the video that showcased the passion of why he does what he does. So if you did a screen grab, you can look at the second slide. It was step number 2. We added clips of him creating a table. I just want to show you a little bit of it. One caveat: you have to forgive the audio, because I have a microphone in front of my face. I'm going to tilt it down to my laptop speakers. The audio is superb on this. It just sounds bad coming through my speakers, but I don't know how to run a video through Zoom with the pure audio, with the real audio. So you can't tell me my audio stunk. But here goes. I'll just share this with you. Watch this. I'm going to only show a few seconds of it.
I love working with iron because there's no boundaries. I can shape it, I can form it, I can cut it, I can make a mistake, or if it's not what I want, I can always re-weld, I can put it back. Even if I make a mistake, the mistake becomes a part of the design.
Okay, that's all I want to show you. But here's what I want to say about this. First of all, isn't it awesome? I mean, it's beautiful, and the shots are just really simple. It's literally Derek cutting a piece of steel. Oh, Derek, another angle of Derek cutting a piece of steel, right? And your smartphones have such good image stabilization these days that you can get really creamy, smooth looking shots like that. But here's what's more important. We took the conversation of cold black iron and we brought some warmth to it, just simply by sharing, some of his passion of why he does what he does. My favorite part is when he says, like, and that video is much longer than that. It's about a 4-minute, I think about 4 minutes. But he says, when I make a mistake, it becomes part of it. So you're hearing the artist at work. Just such a great thing. But even more important than that, again, we go back to, so who cares? Within 24 hours of posting that video to Facebook, it had 8,550 people who it had reached, and it garnered over 3,300 of those people actually watched it within 24 hours. You can see to the left there, it says, I posted this yesterday is what it says. So within 24 hours, and by day 5, it had over 4,500 views. And this is all organic. We didn't put a single dime in advertising against this, but video, when it's done right, it's going to engage. It's going to resonate. And the one story that lit me up, Derek called me about on the 4th day, I think, and he was recognized at the bank. And guess what the bank teller said? Oh, something like, oh, you're that guy. You're the artist who makes iron, or makes art out of iron. She used the word artist. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like that. And he called me on the phone just flipping out, because that was everything to him. He didn't want to be the handrail guy. So again, that goes back to, who cares? Okay, great. He changed the perception. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. To date, I spoke with Derek I think it was about 3 months ago. So I haven't spoken with him since then. And he crossed the 6-figure mark with this one single video. And that number just continues to grow. He has chosen now, at this point, he doesn't even talk to people. He says, hey, before we get on the phone and talk, I want you to watch this video. And he lets the video do the selling for him. He pre-frames everything in the video. That's all the important pieces are in that video. So in Derek's case, at this point, you might be thinking, like, Derek had your help though, Chris, right? And that's true. We did create his video together before the Video Creation Academy was even born. I did film it. So that's fair as well. And that leads to Carrie's story. She's a Video Creation Academy student. She's a health coach that was terrified to get on camera. I chastised her. I prodded her and inspired her to finally do it. And she'll admit this. But when I coached her through it, and she used the lessons to create her first video by herself using, guess what gear? She used her iPhone and a $15 microphone. And I'm not going to play that video on here. It would just take too long. It's about a 3.5-minute video, but her phone, after she shared that, it blew off the hook. And let me just share with you what happened though. I do want to share with you a part of the coaching call that happened when I just learned that she had released her video. I didn't even know she had released it, but it's about 60 seconds. So bear with me here. Here goes. And forgive the audio again.
So Carrie, you braved it out and you shared your work. Was that scary? Were you scared to do that, or were you just like, I'm doing it, I'm going for it?
It is game on. It's happening. I'm getting out of my head. I'm getting out of my own way. I need to just put it out there and see what it looks like. Oh my God, my phone has blown up all day.
Really?
Wait a minute, hold on, I missed a part. You put your video out there and your phone's blowing up.
Blowing up. My phone has been blowing up all day. My husband's phone is blowing up all day. People that have said, oh my gosh, well, I've been watching your story, but I just watched your video and we have got to talk, girl. I got to get this weight off, you know, and so blowing up.
What phone are you using, or what camera?
It was an iPhone 10.
Your video looks better than most of the junk that's out there. And I don't want to beat other people up, but that's so important to the impression of our brand.
Isn't that fantastic? She wound up booking, literally in the next 24 hours, she booked 2 new clients. What I'm talking about, what I'm teaching here, and what is in this strategy, these techniques and all of it together, they help you not only create beautiful brand building videos, but videos that have massive success out the gate, not minimal success. We're talking about massive success out the gate. So, okay, so that's secret number 1. You know, we're wrapping this all around. We'll go to secret number 2 here, but that's how you can literally get all your marketing videos done insanely fast, 100% strategical, and it's plug and play simple. But Carrie's struggle, it highlights a major issue that leads us into this second secret, right? Just before we launched the Video Creation Academy, we surveyed about 400 people, and we've since surveyed about 1,000 now. But the biggest struggles, what are the biggest struggles as they relate to video? One of the main struggles that people feel, like Carrie did, it's that video is daunting and it's intimidating, and they feel like the learning curve is just out of range. It's just too huge. You know, what gear they need, how to use that gear, fear of video sucking up all their time, or the fear of not having the right strategy or knowing what to say. Is this going to work for me? They lose gumption really fast. And that's in fact what was happening with Carrie. She wanted to do it before she entered the academy. Even when she entered the academy, it was still this fear. And we had to like really talk her through that. And she felt like it was out of reach. And then you saw the results of what happened, right? And I'm going to share more results about that story in a minute too, because it's way more powerful than what I've shared already. But that leads us to the second insider secret, which is how you can easily create stunning story-centric videos. Is so important from your living room or anywhere, just using your smartphone and a laptop, even if you're not tech savvy. And some of you might be saying, Chris, come on, my smartphone. And I'm here to tell you, yes, really, your smartphone, it's a cinematic beast. I will mention that 3 or 4 years ago, one of the most frequently asked questions I get in my production company by my clients was, can I use my smartphone to make videos for my business? And I'd actually get pretty snarky and say something like, yeah, but it's going to suck. And by the way, Dyron, yes, Android as well. It's not just absolutely. The Galaxy series, they're fantastic. Absolutely. And so are the Google phones. There's a bunch of them. But I'm going to keep going here. But I would get snarky and tell people it's going to suck. Then this weird thing happened. I was watching this surf documentary, and this thing was beautiful. It was breathtaking. And guess what? They shot it on an iPhone. And for me, this was kind of like, at that point, it was kind of like the Matrix, where Neo eats that red pill and reveals this unpleasant truth that things are not what they seem. Remember where I came from, right? The way that I had to learn things was that video was supposed to be hard, big old honking cameras with lots of buttons. And if you know, it's going to have to be complicated and techie if it's going to create pretty images and do awesome things. 4 or 5 years ago, this is totally true. But look at Apple's current advertising. What are they advertising anytime you see it? How stunning of an image they can create, both photographically and video wise. And they are not the only ones doing that. The Galaxy series is in full-blown competition on those visuals. And yes, I like the Galaxy images better than the iPhones. Even though I have an iPhone, I like iPhone for other reasons, like connects with my Mac and stuff like that. But anyway, today, the truth is, it's totally false that you can't use your smartphone to do this stuff. So the truth that I had to absorb, the truth that I had to accept, that was that modern high definition smartphones were now more powerful than the cameras that I used to film nationally televised documentaries on just a few short years ago. And that surf documentary was proof of that. They're making major motion pictures on smartphones these days. So, you know, again, smartphones are high definition. A lot of them are 4K, some of them are 6K, some of them are 8K now, I think. And they're designed to be user friendly. Otherwise, they're not going to sell to you, right? The learning curve for the tech side of things is astoundingly fast. The real issue has nothing to do with whether you have the access to the right gear. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're capable of pushing a red button. Because not every one of us can do that, right? 99% of you already own a phone that is capable and beautiful and awesome image-wise. It's whether you have the right knowledge of how to unleash the power of that gear. Remember, we're not trying to make Star Wars. We're not trying to make Lord of the Rings. But we're not talking about cringeworthy videos with bad framing and bad lighting that could potentially harm your brand either. Nothing worse than seeing a young entrepreneur create a crappy looking video. I will be strong on that as well. Quality is super important. Don't just go out and make a video like everybody's saying, like most of the programs are out there saying. Don't do that. But with a little bit, you know, it's fast learning curve, a little bit of knowledge, some application, quality implementation, boom, you got a great looking video like Carrie did, like Chris Cowden within 24 hours did. As a testament to this, if you remember Chris, I want him to share his experience in the academy. He was our first student to join. And if you recall, our premise was what? It's to take a complete newbie by the hand. Within 2 days, you can literally build your strategy. You can write your first script. You can film it. You can edit it. And you can publish this thing within the, you know, and this video is designed to close sales. And you could do this using video superpower, which is automation, becoming an authority in your niche immediately. And here's what Chris Cowden had to say in a Zoom video about that. Check this out.
I think the main problem that I was struggling with was getting qualified leads, but online. So the moment I decided that video was the right thing for me was that I saw a lot of other network marketers doing it and it was working out for them. The only real thing that held me back was how other people saw me, the opinion of others. So that there was no other reason why I didn't appear on camera. I was just anxious. I was nervous about putting myself out there. I decided to do the course and prove Chris wrong. And he said that he could get a pure beginner in video to film, edit, cut, do all the shebang in 2 days. And I said, no, that's not right. I'll prove him wrong, or prove myself right. Let's say that. I thought I put a 2-day limit and do as much as I can, but I did manage to get it done in the 2 days. Video Creation Academy has helped me just really believe in myself. I never thought I'd be able to create my first video the way it was created, the quality that came out at the end of it. My whole anxiety around video editing and creating videos was gone. As soon as I watched a few videos, followed it step by step, and it's almost as easy as tying your laces. I would recommend it any day to anybody who was interested. The live coaching calls are amazing. You get to ask questions. And yeah, just get on the course straight away because you won't regret it.
I told you guys earlier, my biggest dream is I'm obsessed with helping other entrepreneurs tell the story of what it is that they do. And every time I hear Chris's testimonial, I just want to jump out of my seat and just like run, like, I wish I could hug the guy. He's over in the UK somewhere. I'm in the United States, but it just gets me fired up. Isn't that powerful? You have a guy who could not go on camera because of fear of what other people would say about him, and then suddenly becomes the authority in his niche. He made a sale within 24 hours. I have more on his story in a few minutes too. Not only was Chris terrified of the process before getting into the course, but within 48 hours, he made an entire video. He shared it and he closed the client within 4 hours. This guy took the most dominant, influential communicative force ever known to mankind, video, and he applied it into his own business despite his fears. I am so fired up about that. That is incredible. And he tells us in that video that it's almost as easy as tying your shoelaces. And I hope this is encouraging you. I hope you can see this start to unfold for you in your business, whether it's strategy or technical stuff. You can really get started with gear that you already have. So at this point, you might be saying, okay, I think this could be powerful for me. Clearly, that's got to be something you're thinking, right? And like Chris, you might be saying, I could probably learn how to create great looking videos pretty fast with the right knowledge. Okay, that sounds like something that's feasible right now. But you also might be like Chris in that you're nervous about putting yourself out there. Heard a lot of people say, I just don't want to look stupid, or I don't like the sound of my voice. I even had a recent student, Al, you may have heard Mel say this recently. She shared her struggle that it isn't creating a video that scares her. It's believing in herself. Isn't it funny? That's what Chris said. Chris said, I found Video Creation Academy helped me believe in myself. My jaw dropped when I heard that. I didn't think I was doing that for other people, right? But it's believing in themselves and their message in such a way that they can feel authentic and feel like they can have an impact when they put themselves out there. So important, y'all, to be able to possess that internally and possess that within yourself. So magical that he says this. And that's what I wish for you guys on this call right now. And that leads us to secret number 3, how to smash the fear of getting in front of the camera and positioning yourself as an expert without looking like a total doofball, right? Or total amateur and sounding salesy and inauthentic. Now, I think this topic plays a warm role in my heart because I feel this stuff deeply. I feel that thing of being in front of the camera personally. I feel embarrassed that I'm an expert at something. Like I do feel that. And I mentioned that to those of you who are on the call early, that it's hard for me to accept that I don't know anybody with more experience than me in video marketing. If for some reason that feels like I'm false, I'm humble bragging or something weird, there's just something that happens inside all of us, right? And this is highlighted when I was in college. I was in this speech class, and I remember students had to give an impromptu 60-second introduction to themselves. And when it was my turn, the little stick figure right there, that's me. Like my knees got all literally wobbly. My heart was pounding. My hands were sweating. Weird thing happens to me if I don't monitor this. It doesn't happen much anymore. But when I'm in front of an audience, my neck, the neck muscles that go from the tip of my I don't know where your spine goes into your skull, they lock up. And what happens to me is my head shakes. I start to like literally my teeth will chatter if I'm that. But here's the weird thing. I have no recollection of what I actually said that day. But what I remember is afterwards how painfully stupid I felt. And I think this is how Chris was describing, what he was feeling, and what Mel was describing, Al, whenever she mentioned that, she didn't, fear of making a video doesn't scare. It's fear of like going on camera and sharing your message that resonates. So in essence, I would say that, the most frustrating part for me in that speech class was that logically I knew I shouldn't be afraid, but I was terrified. Since then, I've learned actually that being in front of an audience actually triggers the kind of fear that ignites the body's fight or flight response. So in essence, my response was very similar to that of being chased by a bear. Right. I don't, if you've ever heard this acronym, fear is false evidence that appearing real. This applies quite well here. Humans, I don't know why this is, but they've shown that humans are hardwired to worry about our reputation above almost everything. And I've personally learned that part of, our job as being a human being is to recognize that false evidence and not embracing that false evidence as truth. Because if we do, something like the fear of being judged, the fear of sounding dumb, the fear of, I don't like my voice. Like, what is that? You never get to hear your voice outside of your own body. So when you hear it on camera for the first time, everybody will say, I don't like the sound of my voice. I sound kind of whiny. Everybody will say something like that. But it's just because we haven't heard it. We're not used to hearing our own voice that way. It's not what we don't hear ourselves and know what we sound like from the internal. Anyway, but the fear of coming off as inauthentic is huge, is what I'm trying to say. That's the exact kind of belief that can legitimately hold us back from our dreams, number one. But even on a smaller scale, it can hold us back from introducing something as powerful as video into our marketing efforts because of that anxiety. Video is the most dominant, influential communicative force, proven by Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine and all statistics of all kinds everywhere. You can 5x your business. You can double the amount of revenue in your business this year statistically just by adding video into your marketing efforts. And fear is what will hold us back. Fear of being overwhelmed, fear of what others will say, fear, like it's just something we got to face. And it's okay that we feel fear, but let's just embrace it and look it squarely in the eyes and call it what it is, and not let us hold us back from being dreamers of not just putting video into our, but into our marketing efforts, but also dreams of like, what if you want to be a screenwriter? What if you want to be an actor? What if you want to be a painter? Like fear will hold us back. So, I want to get back on target here. I'm rabbit chasing a little bit, but I want to do two things right now. I want to share Rachel's struggle with this, but I want to share a video that was created through the Video Creation Academy. The first video that Rachel ever made. So you can actually see an example, but I think it's first just give you a little introduction of who Rachel is. She's a life coach. Before creating her first video in the course, she shared her biggest challenge. And here's what that was. She says, my biggest struggle is knowing how to share what I do with people. I don't want my videos to sound like a sales pitch. I want them to share my heart. Overcoming my fear of the camera will be at the top of my list for the next few months. So I want you to check this out. The video I'm going to share, it's her first video. Like I said, it was made with a smartphone and a $15 microphone. And I want to ask at the end, does she resonate, or does she come off as schmarmy and salesy, right? Remember, this is her first video. I'm going to show this to you. It is about 3 minutes, but that's the perfect length for a video of this type, by the way. It's about 3 minutes. So bear with me, watch it, forgive the audio. Al, yes, we need to talk. I'd like to know how to pump my audio through here properly through Zoom, but forgive the audio. It's actually clean audio. The music is really nice. It's a little clangy on this because it comes out of the speakers, but here we go.
I'm Rachel Cunningham. I'm a life coach that helps women who struggle with emotional eating. I'll give them the tools to overcome emotional eating and to be able to manage their thoughts and feelings without gravitating to food and alcohol. There was a time in my life where my own energy and mental clarity was suffering dramatically. I had intense energy leaks. I couldn't focus, and I was having a hard time showing up for myself, much less my family. So I embarked on a journey of saying, how can I care for myself? And so I began learning tools of how to do that. The more I learned those tools, the more I wanted to share with other people. Life is a big challenge for most women. Many moms have kids with special needs. We're working full-time jobs and managing families. We are, in addition to many women are volunteering and things like that. And then other women have a lot of struggle over past abuse and are still trying to figure out how to deal with that past abuse. What we gravitate to is what comes easy, which is, overly processed foods and sugar and alcohol. And when we eat those things on a daily basis to numb our feelings and to deal with our emotions, it wreaks havoc on our health and increases weight gain. It decreases our energy. It increases our health problems and our brain fog. The biggest misconception that one of my clients might have is that they're a lost cause. They may have been on 20 diets, or they may have been dieting since they were teenagers, and now they're in their, 30s or 40s, and they just keep trying and failing and trying and failing. And they believe that they're a lost cause, that there's something broken in them that can't be fixed. I want them to know that they are absolutely not a lost cause, no matter how long they've been trying and in their eyes failing. They can absolutely learn the tools to be able to feed themselves in a way that improves energy, where their weight will balance to a natural weight, and their health starts to improve dramatically. They are not a lost cause. They can learn the tools to do these things consistently. If you're a woman who's struggling with emotional eating and you know that there is more to life, more energy, more fun, more peace to be had regardless of your current circumstances, check out my free guide to end emotional eating. You'll receive immediate strategies that you can start practicing right now and begin using your brain to end emotional eating. Click the link below this video and you'll get instant access to it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next page.
All right. Isn't that great? I mean, think about that. It was shot with an iPhone, a $15 microphone. And I told you I was going to ask you, do you feel her video would resonate with her target audience, or does she seem inauthentic, right? Like a sales pitch, or does she come off as building trust, and authority? Remembering, you got to remember, this is her first video. Thank you, Ali. It connects for sure. Absolutely. And so, what I will say this, with whether it's Rachel or Chris or Carrie, right? All three of these, we've shared a little bit about them. Each were quite vulnerable to share their fear of putting themselves out there. But, but each of these chose to see through all of that noise. And I'm just so proud of them for smashing that fear of getting in front of the camera, for overcoming that and sharing their heart and positioning themselves as people of authority in the marketplace with their services literally in high demand. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, it is a great video. It just connects super good. And Phil says, Rachel, rock that video. They've acquired a skill and a framework that allows each of the three, right, to significantly make more money, that allows them to have more impact and gain so much more visibility than any other thing they've tried up till now. And I'm here to tell you, most marketing efforts, they're not going to pay dividends in the way that automated videos can sell your product or your brand or your service. They just don't. And that leads me to this slide here, where I want to ask you guys a question real quick. How many of you feel like this, right? I know I only had your attention for a little bit, wanted to cover as many things as possible. I love this photo. It's just like spraying knowledge and information at you. But I'm curious, at this point, I would love, if you're interested in working with me, I would love to help you implement these things. Again, I love doing this. I love helping other entrepreneurs tell the story of what it is that they do. How would you like me to help you implement these things inside your business today? Like I'm doing with so many other students, to be able to implement, number one, getting all of those videos done insanely fast and 100% strategical. So you know what videos to create, what sequence to create them in, and working with me to figure all of this stuff out. And then secondly, what you don't need is to be creating cringy looking videos with bad framing, with bad lighting that could harm your brand. You don't want to do that. That is the worst foot to step forward when it comes to video. But how would you like help on that part from somebody who's been doing this for 18 years? I can teach you how to create stunning, story-centric, very visual, highly visual, cinematic videos using gear that you already own. And then number three, to help you smash the fear of getting in front of the camera. More important than that, getting visibility in front of your dream audience and engaging and then building emotional connections, like was just mentioned there, with messages that resonate. And if you're interested in my help in implementing all this, is it okay with you? I always like to ask this. I will never demand this on an audience. I don't like doing that, but I'd just like to ask if I can spend the next 10 minutes or so going over a very special offer that I've created to actually help you implement all this that you learned today so you can be successful with video. And if you're cool with it, just let me know in the chat box if you're interested in hearing more. I just want to make sure I have your permission before I would move forward. Again, I want to spend the next 10 minutes maybe going over what that actual offer is. That way you can look at it, see if this is actually a good decision for you and your business. And then at the end of that, we can do a Q&A. Thank you, Amanda and Al. And you can have 11 minutes, Phil says. Well, if there's questions and then I go over, I apologize in advance. But this, I will say this is, thank you. First of all, thank you for letting me move forward on this, guys. But this is by far the greatest help and the greatest offer I've ever made to businesses to help you get started with the best marketing tool on the planet. And I put that little guy with his jaw dropping because I'd be deeply surprised if you don't go, wow, this is a great deal, right? So let's see. Sean wants to know, I expect it as part of step 5, segment 5. Right. All right. So here's what you're going to get in this offer. Let's just blow through this thing. And I really want to knock your socks off here. Number one, the first thing, what you're going to get, I want to make sure that you have access to Video Creation Academy. I don't want you stressing out that we're in this weird economic time. So anyone who gets started today with this special offer, you're going to get this for free. Literally, the Video Creation Academy is for free if you take me up on this. Video Creation Academy, what is it? It's the entire from script to screen strategy. It's that system that we've been talking about that teaches step by step how to do all of this stuff we've been talking about. It boils all of this video stuff into a proven strategy. It brings in leads and sales, as we've been showing you. In a nutshell, what is it? This program shows you how to take video content and turn it into traffic while also building your online brand. that can lead to more leads, more email subscribers, more sales in your business, things like that, right? All of these important things that video can do. And here's how it all unfolds when you join. I just want to give you a flavor of what this looks like. Students go through a 2-day experience first, and they plan and they prepare and they create their first video in just 48 hours. If you don't have 48 hours coming up in the next day or two, that's fine. This is self-paced, but it's just a few hours of work each day. These aren't 12-hour days, because I leave out all the theory and I leave out all the heady instructions, and I get to only the stuff that's important to make quality videos, reducing it only to what you need. Part of the training is called Creating Killer Videos, where I'm going to teach you how to do it in the fastest, simplest way possible. Massive problem with the programs that are out there, and I've joined them and I hate this, but they're not teaching the proper skills to create great looking videos. Anyone who's been in business long knows that guarding your reputation, it's critical. That can't happen if you're sharing content that makes you look like a total amateur. So creating great looking videos that resonate are so important. And that's why in this training, I've documented myself breaking down the entire process to bite-sized, easy to learn lessons so that you can start creating great looking videos really fast, right? So I'm Sean, you're cracking me up. I'm like watching he's figuring out which segment I'm on. What am I? That's so funny. So I teach you literally how to frame your shots so they look beautiful and professional. I teach you a 3-step simple lighting technique. If you can draw a triangle, you can do this. And this is the exact technique that most Hollywood filmmakers use. So you're not creating crummy looking videos that, again, we don't want to harm your brand. We want them to look great. On top of that, a little known secret is that one of the best ways to improve your video quality is by getting fantastic audio, which I'll teach that in the course as well. But I know some of you might be thinking, okay, Chris, I hear you. Editing a video sounds like nuts to me. I have the technical aptitude of a cricket. Video editing, I will say this, it's one of the bottlenecks that make people afraid that they get hung up right there. But here's the thing. Editing can be outsourced for dirt cheap. But guess what? That's not even what I teach you. You don't have to do that. I mean, I'll teach you that. But modern technology has made editing a video simpler. Like you can play patty cake easier than like it's that easy. It's literally, that's what Chris Cowden said. It's like tying your shoelaces. It's literally drag and drop simple. So you're going to watch over my shoulders. I edit a video in minutes. You're going to use free software packages. So that means I'll show you how to do this step by step. Drag this clip. We're going to drop it right here, right before your very eyes, and get that done. All this stuff used to be hard, but that's not the case anymore. You can build entire videos super quick. And I'll share this. A couple of years ago, taught my youngest child at the age of 11 how to edit a video in 15 minutes. And yes, they still edit. And yes, they've never asked me for another editing lesson. So in fact, creating a video can be easier and faster than writing a blog post. I do it all the time. And I can teach you all that stuff. But I've mentioned my premise for Video Creation Academy is to get you making great looking videos on a shoestring budget. And you can literally have your first professional looking video done within 48 hours from right now, like Chris Cowden did. Here's what one of the cool, I love this quote here. And I want to share with you a quote by a couple people who've gone through the program. Laura Lynn runs an Airbnb. It's called the Magic Treehouse. And she says, this program is like nothing I've ever seen. The world of video creation can feel so overwhelming. The course breaks it down into an easy way. Jump in now so you don't suffer any longer trying to figure it all out. If I only had this program years ago, I could have saved the wasted hours of stress and craziness trying to figure it out on my own. Here's what Jake says. He's an online coach, and this is his first week in joining the academy. And what he says is, wow, Video Creation Academy makes this much easier than I thought. Just want to share a win for today. I started recording videos for my upcoming launch. I'll have 4 videos cranked out by Friday. And so far they're looking great. I'm hooked on video now. But isn't that powerful? He's hooked on video. He was not so interested in doing that initially. And what this means, here's what all this means. What you're not going to have to do is hire an expensive video team or marketing firm. And I'll tell you this, if you try to, guess what they can't do? Market. They're filmmakers. In most cases, production companies are filmmakers and they don't know how to market. And I have one of the biggest marketing firms in town in Nashville, and they will not write a script because they don't know how. That's just the way they do it. They'll shoot your video. You have to do all the marketing though. You're not going to have to feel like some total amateur wondering what to say either in your videos. And you're not going to have to waste months of time watching YouTube videos, trying to learn how to make a video the right way so it doesn't harm your brand. You're not going to have technical overwhelm, because the Academy, it just breaks every single bit of this down. It makes it easy, and it makes it easier than you think it's going to be, as Jake says a moment ago. And that's part one of what you're going to get. The Video Creation Academy membership account. So you learn stunning video creation in 2 days, and this is a $1,997 value. So that, again, that's part one. The second thing that you're going to get, it's a deeper dive into the perfect video strategy. So after you create that first video through the 2-day experience, I don't leave you hanging. You're going to have access to 6 additional modules in total. So 5 more modules where you're going to go through each of the modules. You get a set of templated exercises with trainings that guide you through the creation of one video each and every module. I recommend doing this once a week. If you can do it once a day, that's great. If you need once a week, that's fine. If you need to pace it a little slower, that's fine as well. There's no rules here. I'm just saying my recommendation, 1 per week, so that by the end of the 6 modules, you're going to have 6 completed marketing videos. That's less than a month. You can get these done easily inside of a month. Slow dripping it one a week, then it's going to be 6 weeks, right? But you're going to have videos working on your behalf on the internet. You're going to have access to all of that training as soon as you sign up. So like Jake, he did 4 in that 1 week. So you'll be able to do that as well if you chose that. In module 1, we first create the video that showcases your passion. That's the About Us video. That's your 2-day experience. In module 2, we go over creating your free offer, your irresistible offer, so you can start growing your email list. I'm a staunch believer in that and growing that list. And I teach how to use video to do that. But module number 3, we dive into creating educational videos. And I show you these, how they drive in massive traffic. These are your traffic getting videos. And then module 4, we create your product, brand, or service, your demonstration video, depending on what your business is, right? If it's a service, it's going to be a little different if you have a product. Then by module number 5, you're going to be trained to create the perfect testimonial video. And then finally, in module number 6, we wrap it up with your sales video. And that's your call to action video, right? So here's the thing. Each module in the course, I've documented myself. So I'm creating on camera each of the 6 videos in real time, so you follow along. And I make it plug and play simple, right? So that by the end of that 6 module program, you're going to have those 6 videos completed on the internet, working in your behalf. And as a bonus to keep everything organized, you're also going to receive your big picture strategy. This is a training guide. It's your what goes where roadmap of how to map out and connect your videos together so they make that sales funnel working for you on automation, right? And this also comes with a workbook to map it all out. It's pretty nice workbook where you're going to keep everything super organized and write your first script inside that workbook as well. And let me be frank with you. If you called my production company, I can't remember if I told you that, I own a production company in Nashville, and you call me to make these 6 videos on your behalf, it's going to cost about $20,000 to $30,000. In fact, a client I'm pitching right now, I have a $50,000 bid out there. We'll see if it takes or not. But I'm not trying to get you to hire me. That's not what I'm trying to do. We're going to make these videos together in the Academy from script to screen all the way through. So here's a real quick recap of what I've shared. First, you get the Video Creation Academy membership area. Next, you're going to get the perfect video strategy training. That's 6 modules in all, where I document myself taking you through 1 video each and every time, and you're going to get the big picture strategy, that training guide with the workbook. This is also a $1,997 value of training. It's total value of $39.94. So I just want to make sure you're clear on this, that this is who it's for. It doesn't matter if you're starting out or you're already successful and you just want to scale. You might have an e-commerce store. Maybe you're selling physical products. You might be an author, or an artist, or a coach, or a consultant. All these people are in the Academy. We have all those people type. Maybe you're a networker, an affiliate marketer like Chris, or maybe you provide a professional service or retail. If you're involved in any of these programs, this set of this framework is going to work for you. Some of you might be feeling like this, right? Like you're going to get stuck staring down the blinking cursor of death. And you're thinking, Chris, there's 6 videos. I have no clue what to say in those scripts. Okay, you're going to teach me how to do like all that. But if that's what's holding you back, no worries. Over the course of 18 years, I've spent all these, countless hours, countless energy, even cash flow in my education. All this like especially learning the script writing process. And I don't want you to have to recreate the wheel. So I'm providing you script templates for each video type. They come with workbooks. So these are plug and play, ready to go. They're going to instantly expedite the process so you can get started insanely fast. That way you're not going, you're not going to find yourself wanting to punch the lights out of your computer. Right. So, and not only is this going to save you time I spent to what it took to hone and develop all these tools and these scripts, but you're going to save what could be months and years of wasted time and money because you'll be doing it right the first time with the proven script templates. You're not vetting anything. There's no trial and error period. And I'm here to tell you, if you go research a good copywriter to write a single VSL, a video sales letter, that's going to cost you $1,000 or more. So isn't that awesome? That's the third thing. And recap that, you get the academy, you get the perfect video strategy, you get the plug and play script templates. These are $1,497 value for a total value of $5,491. So this is okay. All that's free, right? So what's the catch here, Chris? What's the paid portion? And my question to you is this, in response, how many of you would just like me to personally coach you and consult you through this? Right? Do you think you have a better chance of success if I help you versus if you were left to figure it out all on your own, even in the membership site? And in case it slipped by you, I have created more than 45 nationally televised documentaries. I've been doing this for 18 years, created countless marketing videos that have reeled in tens of millions of dollars. And I know this may sound weird. I just don't know anybody who has more experience than I have in video marketing at all. I don't know a single person. So yes, of course, you're going to stand a better chance of us coaching you, right? So that leads me to the next thing that you're going to get with this offer. And this is my favorite part. It's not free. It's exclusive. This is the exclusive Real Marketing Results Group Coaching and Mentorship Program. And this is an unbelievable offer. It's my favorite thing I've ever offered. And if you sign up today, you're going to get number one, weekly access to live group coaching and consulting calls for as long as you're in the program. And as you're creating each of your videos, if you have questions or you get stuck on any part of the process about the strategy, about the story, about your script, filming, monetizing, publishing, you name it, any aspect of it, any other marketing. I'm a guru in so many other things as well. I won't go into all that, but I'll be able to help you in real time. Also, what we do, we dig into priceless video marketing hacks or different themes and topics, and I provide additional training during these sessions. But I actually think I lost my mind here. You're going to gain exclusive access to future programs that are in development, such as Facebook video ads training. We have a YouTube traffic academy that's about to come out. We have learning about live streaming, all sorts of things, right? Most people can't afford tens of thousands of dollars for one-to-one mentorship, right? But with this exclusive program, you're going to get access to all the tools, all the strategies, all the insights that I use with my high-paying clients at a fraction of the cost. And yes, I do have other clients outside of all this as a marketing and business consultant, as well as a story consultant for global television network. My current rate's $500 per hour. So yes, this is something that's really a good offer to have. But another thing, the last thing, and that you're going to get exclusive access to private mentorship Facebook group. And I want to make sure that you feel like you're not just getting a great deal here, but you're getting an amazing deal, a great value in this group. You're going to be able to connect with amazing like-minded entrepreneurs. We got one or two of them on this call. Actually, you're going to be able to share tools and tips and tactics together. You can collaborate, and that's what being part of a community, of a family is. That's how I look at it, and that's how what I love about our community. It's a powerful group, and the value of something like this is it's just priceless. We had a SEO training. A guy named Joshua Fletcher gave us an SEO training just recently. But our members, they rave about the value of having the sounding board all the time. But a quick recap. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get access to the Video Creation Academy members area. You're going to be able to, create that video in the first 48 hours. Then you get the perfect video strategy. That's the training with all the 6 videos. That's a $19.97 value. You get the plug and play script templates, $14.97 value. You get the real marketing results, coaching and mentorship, $2,497 value. And finally, the VIP group, the private mentorship Facebook group. That's a joke, the $9.97. I don't know how to value it, but I put $9.97. This is priceless. That piece of this is priceless. And one of my favorite things, I learned so much myself there. When you add all of these 5 together, it's an $8,985 value. Whoa, hold on. I got an extra 8 in there. Sorry. But for many of you like Chris, Carrie, and Rachel, the fear of the camera is what's holding you back. I have 2 bonuses I want to share before I give you the price. This is brand new. They're actually in the works. This is one of those new programs that's coming out. The first is a powerful, it's a power pack training. The script is done. I just have to film it now. And this is a workshop called Become Fearless on Camera. It takes you through it's an 8 technique program that helps you reframe everything in such a way that you can not only smash the fear of being on camera, but own the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect, also known as the celebrity effect, of course, that we mentioned. That way you can immediately start having impact. You can get your message out into the world. You can have an unstoppable brand in this video-centric world. And this is, I'm so excited. The script came out far better than what I imagined. I love this thing. But the second thing that is done, sometimes we don't even need to be on camera, I want to say, to create a powerful video. In fact, many of the videos I personally create, they're faceless. So that said, if going on camera has you feeling trepidatious or simply just want to make a video fast, then this bonus shows you how to do that, how to create powerful videos. You don't even have to be on camera. It's called the Faceless Video Strategy. A really cool story about this faceless video strategy. Sally's an artist, one of my students. She posted her first video. She decided it would be a faceless video. And here's what she says happened. I finished my first video yesterday. Since posting it yesterday evening, it's been watched 1,000 times on Instagram, 1,500 times on Facebook. It's an amazing example of what Chris says about the 1,200% higher viewing of videos compared to still images and text. She had never had that many views on any of her posts. And finally, you know what? I've gone long. I'm going to skip this. I'll just tell you the quick version of Chad. Chad joined. He was broke as a joke, and he would tell you hadn't seen his kids in forever and was losing his mind in his business. And I would rather share the video, but I think that I've gone long here, so I don't want to keep you guys long. And long story short, he winds up in 5 days, within 5 days of joining the academy, he books 5 months of full work on the video that he releases. He takes that money. He lands a 2-year contract as well. That's a retainer. It's $2,500 a month. He hires 2 interns to begin doing some of the lower qualified leads that he had, has since blown that business up, has launched a new business, bought a house, spends an exorbitant amount of time with his kids. And he FaceTimes or Facebooks me, messages me about once every 3 weeks and practically in tears telling me how much this has all meant to him. And he says he'll never do another marketing campaign without using video. So that's the short version of what Chad says here. And I'm so proud of him. When I first came, I'm not going to play it, but isn't that amazing? So I'm going to recap everything that you're getting: the Video Creation Academy, perfect video strategy, proven script templates, group coaching and consultant, private Facebook group, Become Fearless on Camera, the community with Chad and Phil and Al and all these people. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you. I said it was going to be jaw dropping, right? It's not going to be $9,882. But if we did charge that, what if that was, right? What if that was the price? I want you to think about your business right now. What would launching the perfect video strategy be worth to you if you could start taking video content and strategically turning them into traffic, and you're starting to gain visibility, building your brand, gaining your trust and authority in your niche. And these videos, they lead to more sales, email subscribers, leads, all that stuff. For me, my video generated 6 figures. Of course, I've got way more videos that generated way more income than that, way more. For Chris, within his first month, he 5x'd his first the cost of the investment. He made more than $5,000 inside of 30 days. Carrie, not only did her phone blow up, she 4x'd her client intake within 60 days, so that she went from an average of 2 to 3 clients per month to booking 17 clients within 60 days. 17 clients within 60 days when she was averaging 2 to 3 per month. And for Rachel, she had her first 5-figure month it was December, breaking the $13,000 mark. And her strategy is 100% revolving around video now. And Derek, 6 figures. I already mentioned that to you. Sorry about that. I smacked my ring against the computer. But that's the incredible power of video, right? For Derek, Carrie, Rachel, and Chris, you can see why this would be a screaming good deal at $5,000. But because in all 4 cases, they've blown up their investment out of the water, just blown it out of the water. Outside of this presentation, we sell the Video Creation Academy without all the other stuff. This general public is $19.97, which is a great deal. But because you're here today, because you're special and you're one of those people who've crazily enough hung out this long, listen to this podunk kid from Indiana tell his story. You get everything we've been talking about so far, and I'm going to give you a crazy, your jaw's about to drop. I told you, right? My wife says, don't ever say that, because then you, here we go. Boom. We're going to give you access to everything that we've been talking about when you join my exclusive Real Marketing Results coaching and mentorship program. It's only $97 per month. And you're going, what's the catch? There's no catch. You get everything that we've been talking about: the academy, perfect video strategy, script templates, coaching, become fearless on camera training just around the pike. I'm going to finish that this weekend. The additional training as it's developed, the VIP private mentorship and Facebook group, the faceless video strategies. You're going to be hard pressed, I promise you. Find me a better deal. Hard pressed to find more value for your marketing efforts than anywhere on the planet. I've purposefully gone above and beyond to deliver by far the best deal I could. And that being one of the most experienced people in this world of video marketing that you're ever going to meet. You're going to see at the bottom of the page, videocreationacademy.com/97. I've just posted it to the chat room. Know that questions are open. You can ask me, go for it. Start asking me questions. You might be saying like, wait, hold on. That sounds ridiculous. Like, if you're one of those people, are you insane, Chris? And first of all, yes. But again, you're going to see the link at the bottom of the page. I just want you to go there and start looking at it, see if this is good for you, so that, if you join at this $97, here's how this works. It is recurred every month. There are no strings beyond that. You don't have to commit for a year. You don't have to commit for 3 months. I'm not even having you pay 2 months in advance. It's simply this: join for $97 with no obligation to stick around and watch your business blow up. That's what this is. So I just want you to go for it. Like, head on over to Video Creation Academy /97. Select the option that fits best for you. No, there's no other option. Sorry, I don't know why that's in there. For all of you who've been on this web class with me, at this point, you have two choices, right? The first one is you can do nothing at all. You can not take this low risk leap of faith. Or the second one is just take this crazy, ridiculous leap of faith and pony up the terribly small investment today compared to all the value that I'm talking about here in return, and just give it a shot. Just give this a try. If this works for you, imagine what it can do for you. Imagine how things could change for you, because $97 is what? It's my coffee for the month. It's a pair of shoes. It's a date night. I spent like $140 with my wife out the other night. Had some drinks and some nice meal. But the real question is this: is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check it out? Even if it is 100th of what we're talking about, this thing's going to pay for itself as soon as your first video is published and live. I do like to mention this. This is so important for you to understand this. 80% of online content this year was consumed, or in 2020, was consumed through video. It's not a matter of if you're going to be using video, it's a matter of when, because they're projecting between 3 to 5 years from now, video is going to make up 90% of how content is consumed, right? 90% of content will be consumed by way of video in 3 to 5 years. So if you want to get this offer, the only way is right here, right now. If you want engrafted into that $97 price, the time is now. If so, when you open up the browser, head on over. You see at the bottom of the thing, I posted that link in there. I'm going to post it again just so you can find it easy. Videocreationacademy.com /97. There's an awesome Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So sure, you might have started using video 5 years ago, or maybe you're trying to use it now and it's not working for you, or maybe you did it last year, or maybe you tried and it's failed, whatever. I understand these things happen, but the time is now. And the reason there's a reason you found me here. There's a reason why this is crazy. We have more people on the call still now than began the call. People aren't leaving. You guys aren't leaving this call. Why? Right? Like, I have more than 95% of you have stayed on the entire call at this time. Right? And that's because the time is now. The time is now to get going. Videos for you. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So I want you guys to join, because my obsession is to get you to join. because we're going to blow your business up together. That's what our goal is. And one last thing, and I'm going right to I got to go to the chat. I see it's kind of going there. But one last bonus. I hope you don't actually a couple bonuses. I hope you don't mind if I over deliver, start this off right, this relationship. I have a special bonus for those of you guys who will sign up right now in the next 30 minutes. I want to make sure you have everything you need so you don't get stuck. So what else do you need? The difference between having content that brings in traffic and makes money in your business, it's your ability to communicate your story with the people who are viewing your content. Human to human connections, they are the heart and soul of business, and storytelling is the key to creating those connections. If you want to be relevant, storytelling is the key to build those connections. And that's really the next thing that you have to master. We live in a timeline. We walk through life narratively. We learn best narratively. Telling the story of your product, brand, and service in a narrative way, in a story-centric way, will to build those connections, to build the bridge in those connections. I did share this a few minutes ago. I went from this dorky dude who geeked out over story to remaining a dorky dude who launched a video production company and a marketing firm that's helped businesses generate avalanches of leads, tens of millions of dollars, multiple times over. And when I decided to create the Video Creation Academy, one of the first things I wanted to do was break down my process for writing the most difficult of all the video types. And I wanted to put it into a training. And this is the most difficult. It's the sales script. And I've broken that into a 9-step story selling framework. So this is called Story Scripts. It's based on how I wrote those scripts in that third world country. It is 9 steps rather than 6 segments, right? So it's really whittled down, but I broke it down to, so if you're going to write a 60 or 90-second script, it's scalable though. You don't have to stick to 60 or 90 seconds. This 9 steps that you can scale them out to a full-blown feature film if you wanted to. But this is the exact same structure used by movie moguls who, to create those blockbuster films that have grossed billions. It's story-centric and it works like wildfire. It is awesome. What else though? What else might we need? This might be one of my favorite bonuses. Phil and Al have actually been in there. We've been building something together, and I love this. It's called Launch Process Maps and Execution Guides. This bonus covers launch plans and execution guides to show you the exact steps involved in launching a product and where your 6 videos show up in that launch process. We cover an extremely wide range of scenarios. So no matter what kind of product or service you want to launch or what kind of marketing strategy you're choosing for your business, you're likely to find a step-by-step plan for that here. And the plan shows you precisely where the 6 essential videos live within each game plan. So you might be thinking of launching a webinar, right? Or maybe you're a coach looking for a game plan to get new clients onto a call, like a Zoom call. Or maybe you're just wanting to have like a simple 5-day game plan to make sales pretty fast. And one of my favorites, if you're looking for an execution guide to run ads to your micro offer, it's this one. It's a game plan that I execute nearly every single day. It's happening right now. Each guide comes with video training. And what makes this bonus stand out is that video doesn't limit you to a specific method, right? Instead, each guide covers a diverse range of frameworks. On top of that, this bonus continues to grow each month as we add new trainings to it. So it's kind of, we did a video series launch blueprint just recently. Can I keep going? What else? What else are you going to need? Music. It's one of the most powerful tools you can add. You have to avoid copyright infringements. Normally you're going to pay like 10 to $50 per music track, but I'm going to give you 1,000 music files for free. You don't have to pay a penny. Each value, if you just valued each track at $2 per track, which is absurd, you're not going to find that. It's a $2,000 value by itself. This is a massive addition here. And those 3 bonuses I just shared, they're only for those who sign up in the next 30 minutes. So there we go. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back here. I want to see. Yeah. So here's everything you're going to get. $97 a month. I'm going to make sure I don't have any questions here. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back. Amanda, you said, fine by me. You can have 11 minutes, Phil said. Laugh out loud, for sure. I expect I expect it as part of step 5, segment 5, haha. Segment 4, as Sean says. Segment 4 is making offers. Oops. I am a VCA member, Phil says, with over 50 years in the marketing space, and the weekly group coaching calls are gold. Al says, hi, Phil. They know each other. Al, my jaw just dropped. I hope so. I hope it really did. I hope that you guys are, going crazy over this, because this is a great offer. Give me a team rate so I can have my guys in the training. Talk to me, Phil. Sean, what does that mean? Give me a team rate. How many team members do you have? And then Phil says, okay, Chris, this is how much I love VCA, what you do for us, and all that I learned from fellow members. So to say thanks, I want to treat someone watching to their first month of VCA just to try it. Give me a name. Oh, wow. Give me a name. I will treat him or her. Man, Phil. Okay. $97 is better than a team rate, Al says. I think he's saying he has multiple team members and he doesn't want to hijack it with a bunch of team members. He wants to make sure team members can come on the call and also be part of it, is what he's saying. I'm offering to pay more because more than one of us will be using it. That's so respectful, Sean. I think I really appreciate what you're saying. And I don't know how many team members. So let's talk about that. I hear you. I pay my general manager, and my general manager pays also. It's way worth it. Dyron, am I saying your name right? Dyron, bought it. High five. Boom. Oh, I'm not on camera. You can't see. I just high fived you. I'll go on camera. High five. Thank you. Awesome. So Al says, good job. It's past the 40th hour. Gotta go. He's 40 hours. Seems great, but on the webpage and in the T&Cs, it doesn't seem to say it's month by month and how to cancel if need be. Is that right? On the 97, the Video Creation Academy .com it is 97 per month. So to cancel, you have to do one thing. Tell me. So you will have access to my Facebook Messenger. I see it every day. You'll have access to my email. You'll see, you can email me. I look at that every day. You'll have access to me in the private members area, because again, the Facebook group, you'll be included on a message thread for all of the members, because I reach out to you guys each week. We do 2 training calls each week, and I got to give you the time and the topic. So all of those, the rain in Spain, the rain. Okay. The rain, it's pronounced the rain in Spain, the rain. Am I saying that right? Hope so. You'll be able to tell me live soon because you've enrolled. So how you get out of the deal is you just tell me, and there's not been one. I don't say, what did you get done? I'm going to, like, I don't hold you hostage. We just say you're done. That's it. So what was I going to, I was going to say one more thing. So talk to me. I don't know if you want to do this, Sean, if you're still on here, I don't know if you are. Let's either, you can tell me here and now, or we can just jump on a Zoom call. I don't, I don't think of myself so great. I can't jump on a Zoom call with you and we can just talk about it. I want to know how many members, and then let's see what deal we can cut you, because I don't want you paying an exorbitant amount of money. I want you to like get in there and have your team just go crazy and figure this stuff out and do great with it. So Amanda says, me. What does that mean, Amanda? Me. What's going on here? So, all right. Yeah, you guys are starting to make your payments. Awesome. So that's great. Several of you have hopped in. And are there any questions about anything at all? It could be about any part of the process. It can be about the offer. It can be about any of the 6 videos. It can be, how does it apply this way, et cetera, et cetera. So let me know what you're thinking. Okay, Chris, it's almost 11 p.m. here in Germany. I'm jumping off and going to bed. Thank you for a great deal. You're welcome. And thank you for trusting me. It's gonna rock your world. So see you later. Thank you very much. And we'll see you soon. We do have a coaching call tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. If you guys who have joined, it's short notice. I don't know if you have it in your calendar to be able to do it tomorrow, but we also are looking at Monday at 10 a.m. I think is our next one as well. Central Time. That's Chicago time for those of you who are still on here. But let's see here. So in case you're wondering or you're going through the process and you're stuck or anything, I have one thing I want to point out to you. On the page, as you enroll, you're going to see something that looks like it's changed a little bit from this. And I need to go over there and make sure about what you said about the 97 a month. It is 97 a month, and it should be that. You're on this page, you see the country code. If you forget to put your country in there, it will, it doesn't really alert you in the best way. So if you're struggling you're going, why isn't it taking my order? Make sure you type in your country. I forget that every time I use this form to buy something. I've seen this form on other sites. It's a ClickFunnels form, by the way, if anybody wants to know. So make sure you fill that out. Then what happens from there, you're going to obviously hit buy now, put in your card number and buy now. And then it will take you to a page that looks similar to this. You're going to use the same email that you signed up with. Like you'll have to put in an email and then build your password. There'll be 2 slots for a password. I don't have it on here because I have a password, so I don't have to create it. So you'll create your account. And then from there, it pops you into the academy. And this would be the first stuff you see. It's going to look a little different than this, but not much. You'll be able to open that up and start walking through it. So there you go. Amanda says, just a question, when the videos have been made, where are they uploaded? Just to social media sites? No. So there are several, it's tough to go into, but let me go back to the slide. I'm going to show something to you. Okay, so see these launch execution guides. First of all, we have a sales funnel that we start with, and you have these videos will go onto, like, let's say you had a website. You don't have to have any of these, but this is an example of where they can go. On the main page of your Facebook page, so your business page, you can now put videos in there. Your About Us video would go in there, for example. You put your About Us video on your website and also over on YouTube. Then you have the call to action, like Rachel's video. If you remember how hers was, she would send she said, if you'd like to download my guide to end the 7-step guide to end emotional eating, that's a video guide. It comes with a PDF and a video. In her case, you can do either, or you may already have this set in place in your business to start growing your email list. So the call to action leads you there. Inside that video, there's the next call to action. So it leads them through these 6 videos of funnel. But also, those 6 videos show up if you're going to do a webinar launch. So let's say you want to guide people to a webinar, or you're trying to get coaching clients. There's another, like, we have different roadmaps that you can choose from, and it takes you from paid offers or organic offers into like a registration page for them to get on they'll see a video of you. And then that leads to a 10-minute training or something like that. That leads to a call to action to get them on a coaching call, like a free coaching call. So there's that. My wife uses that and she's crushing it. She booked 3 clients on the call today with this alone. And again, it's very video centric. Then we have like a 2-week launch blueprint, and I show you where those videos go. The 6 videos are about all you're going to need. Sometimes you'll have an additional video, like I haven't mentioned, like a thank you page video. But most of the time you're going to use one of those 6 videos, and they can show up in any different location. Depends on the launch blueprint that you're using or what funnel type you're doing. And that's what the coaching calls are for as well, because you could say, Chris, I want to, I'm trying to get new clients on my Zoom call. Oh, well, here's the template that we use. Chink, here's where your videos go. Chink. And you can we'll talk you through all that stuff. And I hope that helps you. Let's see how many. Just a question, when the videos have been made, where do they upload it? So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody is what I'm saying, but there are some common places that we'll put them. We have some extensive YouTube training showing you how to optimize your videos so that you get a lot of organic traffic from YouTube, but those video types wouldn't be limited to YouTube. We might run, I've got one video that I put on YouTube as a free offer, but I also put it on as a free downloadable guide as well, so that I can grow my email list. So it's used in a couple of places, in other words. Okay, you've thoroughly convinced me. Respect, because I am a tough sell. Awesome. Well, let's see you on a call, and let's get you going. Let's get you going super fast then. Let's let you be a tough sell, because then here's my point. You're going to go ahead and crush it in the next 3 days and launch your first video and make some sales. And then what we'll do from there is I'll get you on a Zoom call and we'll make you into a testimonial. Okay, cool. So how many people are in the program now? If Nelson asks, if we're on a group call interacting on Facebook, I'm just trying to get an idea of how many people will be sharing ideas, talking, etc. So that's a great question. We have about 80 members. Of the 80 members, when we get on a group coaching call, most people aren't on the same call. So I'll do usually 2 calls per week. And let's say like a big call right now, it's a fairly new program. So that's why we don't have a ton right now, but we will get maybe on a max day, I might have 25 or 30 people on. And then on a short day, I think Al and Phil was on a call last week and we had like 5. So it's just, it's been something I've not tried to grow blazingly fast because I've been reluctant to see where this thing goes. But I got to tell you, I love it. I love this program. And I've been building it slow, but my heart just keeps going more and more towards it. The Video Creation Academy is a $1,900 program, and I was about to lift the price to, it was going to be a $4,900 program, because I'm working with one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world. And we were talking about, where does this go? How do we take it to the next level? And then I started offering this because I wanted to, and my gut was just saying, go for it. And I'm really a big fan of like entrepreneurship and businesses who aren't engaging. There's just something in me that craves showing people they're badass and putting them on camera and proving it. There's something in me that loves that. And this is the best path towards that. So yeah, right now it's not overwhelming. And it is also, if you have a pressing issue, you just tell me in an email. It's that loose right now. It's very much, you email me and I bring it to the table. If you can't make the coaching call that week, let's say the time didn't align, planets aren't aligning right, I still deal with the question. There will be a day when, let's say we had 500 people and then 100 people are on that call, when that becomes the group coaching aspect will be, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just add more sessions for sure to that, where we're doing a group coaching call, each day, if that's what we choose. But I hope that helps. Phil says the regulars who show up on the weekly coaching calls are all hosses, female and male variety. We're a tight group. There's we get to know each other, and it's a great group. And yeah, hope that helps. So any other questions? I know there's, what I love about this is almost everybody's still on here. We've had a couple of people leave, but let's see, Amanda, Michael, Nelson, Sean, Susan, any of you have any other questions? Let me keep scrolling here. Anybody else who's kind of spoken up with questions? Do you have any other questions? Kind of just hanging out here. I'm gonna make sure there's nothing in my email. Sometimes I get emails. Okay, thank you, Michael, and thank you. Let's see who else is coming in here. We got Nelson, and we got let's see. Looks like Sean, you signed up for one. We'll still get back with you on your question, and then Irene, the rain. Thank you. Thank you guys for jumping in, y'all. This is awesome. At the moment, Amanda says that don't know if I'll be able to benefit from signing up now. Okay, that's totally fine. If you want to join for 1 month and just try it and see, because we'll do our best to make sure that is the best $97 you ever spent. And I'm not hurt. I don't want to pressure anybody, but I want you to know that it is not hard to get out of the program. And it's just a simple, let me know. And that's that. And we're done. So if you wanted to try it out and just see, that's, totally appropriate. And I respect that. If you don't feel it would benefit you now, that's totally fine. And I understand. But if you want to have a conversation as well, I'm an open book, and you can reach out to me by email and ask me any questions you want. So will the offer last for a few weeks? I'm just finishing my online course content, and you're so busy. This offer is going to go up. And by the way, if you've joined, it's not going to go up on you. You get grandfathered into the $97 price. So let's say I bump it up to $197. You're not going to have to pay $197 a month. You'll still be grandfathered into the $97 price. The best I can say to that, Amanda, is you can simply reach out to me and ask, and then we'll go from there. So let me know if you're still interested. And when you finish that. So awesome. You guys are awesome. This is great.